Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaitlyn and today it is time for the monthly eyeshadow palette ranking video for August. This is a ranking video of all of the eyeshadow palettes I used in the month of August. Some of them are newer, some of them are older, and this is just a fun series to see how the new stuff stacks up against the old stuff in my collection as I'm using it. So if that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, if you have not already, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I upload videos twice a week. It is totally free to subscribe and I would love to have you back again on the channel for all things makeup. This month I used 15 different eyeshadow palettes. I have a huge stack, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. In number 15 from Game Beauty is the Cyberpunk palette. This is not a bad palette. In fact, I would say there's nothing in this month's rating that is a bad palette. Nothing's like getting decluttered. I don't really declutter. This one is just the formula and other things I used this month I thought were better. This one isn't bad. It's just kind of your standard run-of-the-mill formula in my mind, meaning like it's not anything special or unique that can't be found in other brands in my opinion. Now the packaging, that's where they've got it going on in Game Beauty. This packaging is like really above some of the other brands here. But when it comes to formula, this is just like, again, your run-of-the-mill, I think, matte and shimmer formula. They're fine. But this also isn't a color story that I gravitated towards a lot. I think I only used this palette one time this month, so that's why I put that one in the bottom. Number 14 from Cosmic Brushes is the Serenity palette. I used this a couple times for different Instagram collabs this month. If you're not following me on Instagram or my other socials, I've got it all listed in the description below. But this one I actually liked a lot more this month than in past times I have used this palette. I still feel like I like the formula more, but maybe I'm thinking it's just more the layout. I struggled to put looks together. So I did one that was kind of monochromatic green that I really liked because we have a lot of different undertones. Like we have the chartreuse, we have like more of the minty sagey, we have a true green, we have like murky. And so combining all of those undertones was really cool. And then the other look I did was a palette bingo. So I didn't really have to come up with the color story. The palette bingo gave it to me. So yeah, this one just makes me think more than I want to about color combinations, I guess is what it boils down to. But the quality in this one I did enjoy more than the Game Beauty. And number 13 from ColourPop is the Twilight palette. Packaging is amazing. Not only do I like this formula, but I really love the color story. You can go neutral, but we've also got a lot of pops of blue and green in here. The one formula I'm not a huge fan of is their like glitter formula, this Edward shade, and I think Immortal's the other one. They are a bit more of a, I hate to use the word scratchy because it's not like it's gonna injure you, right? But it's not a smooth texture like some of the other shimmers. Like Prom Night is a wonderful shade. You can see it's got some texture to it there. It's not like a smooth metallic or shimmer, but it's also not the pressed glitter formula. So this one could have some tweaks in the formula for me personally to make it better, but I really love the theming and the color story. Number 12, the Soulmane palette from Odin's Eye. Now, I love the matte touch packaging that they used to do on these. You can tell it's old because it's their old like circle palettes, their circle pans rather that they used to do. Now they do more of like a unique kind of rectangle with like not pointed edges on it. They're kind of slanty. But this one has been really nice for when I've been pairing with singles. And I just want to lay some basic mattes down first. And the shimmers hold up really well in this palette too. So it's not the most interesting color story. I love the pop of purple, but the quality is really, really good of this one. Like I said, in pairing it with singles this month. So I did rank it higher because I reached for it more than some of the other ones. And I think the quality is really nice, but as a standalone palette, not as interesting as some of the other stuff ranked higher. Number 11 from Nimya is The Palette by Nikki Tutorials. Every time I say that, I'm like, really? That's the name? The Palette? I don't know. I think they could have workshopped that. Sometimes I think the names of some of Nimya's products are a bit bizarre. Here's the palette. Neutral with pops of orange and blue. This one, I usually just do a neutral look with it. I haven't really reached for the blues. Burr is kind of like a blurple shade. It's usually just a neutral look. And this one is good. I would say it's better than drugstore, absolutely. There are some other indie brands that I think have some more unique shimmers, but this one is really nice for just like a go-to glam look. The mattes are nice and opaque, which I like because I get a lot of like veins peeking through in my lids, so I like that the mattes fully cover those in this one. So it's ranked higher because it's got a better formula, I think, than any of the others I've talked about so far, but not the most interesting color story. But I get it. It was their first palette as a brand, so they were just trying to get like a staple palette. And number 10 from ColourPop is the Lush Life palette. This one, really nice. I actually did something a little more neutral leaning with some of the browns here. We've got some nice warm tones, and we've got some shimmers that are kind of neutral, but you can definitely go blue or green colorful with this one. And I like with ColourPop the smaller pans. These are definitely smaller than the Twilight one, but who's going through a whole eyeshadow pan? Like, I would be fine if all brands made their pans like smaller, you know, so it could be cheaper. Shelby does a great job of offering palettes in a larger pan size or a smaller pan size, and you can choose, so I do like that in the smaller one. So Color Story got this one up a lot more. Formula is still good from ColourPop, but there is nothing, there's no like special undertones or shifts or holochromes, any of that stuff in this one, so that's why it's not the top. And number 9 from ABH is Subculture. I had an unused Subculture in my pile of shame that I used for a Throwback Thursday. This one's ranked so highly, partially, she's iconic, okay? But iconic for a reason. I know, got flack when it first came out. I had no problems with this formula. This has cool undertones, right? The mattes are great. There's only 3 shimmers. The shimmers are nothing to write home about, really. Like, I had to use a glitter glue just to amp up the shimmers a little bit. The mattes are where it's at. Edge is like this murky undertone. It's so cool. Mercury too, this kind of like cooler tones beigey shade right here. Very cool. Destiny is also this like, I don't know, kind of murky green foresty. I just love the vibes. The Color Story really bumped this one up for me a lot. Number 8 is another ABH palette. It's actually the one I'm wearing on my eyes today. It's the Rose Metals palette here. I'm gonna try to show it to you, but this one came to me with 2 shades broken, Haze and Rose Fire. They were already busted when they came, and Sephora said, we don't have any more, so we can't send you a replacement, but we can like refund your money. So I was like, okay, I just have to make it work, but I didn't have to pay for the palette, so I'll take it as a win. This is just as it says, Rose Metals. There are very rosy shades, warm tone browns, but there is like a few greens in here and golds. It's just been really nice. This would have been wearing on a daily basis to work, to do like 2-3 colors and just be out the door. It's got a really nice micro shimmer in it for the shimmers. And even though 2 of the 3 are broken, I do really like this shimmer formula. Heavenly in the bottom corner here came unbroken, and the texture is really nice of those. So I do think the shimmers in this one are better than the Subculture, so that's why it got ranked higher. And it is, I don't know, it's neutrals, but because it's got the greens in there and it's a little more rosy, it's more interesting to me than like the Soul Mane from Odin's Eye. And number 7 from Sydney Grace is the Tiny Marvels palette. This one is in collaboration with Mel Thompson. Bit of an older palette, but there was a Throwback Thursday collab with this one. And I do really like the shades from Sydney Grace. I will say there are some shimmer formulas like Web in here that feel more like a satin shadow. And the other shimmers in here are very smooth. I tend to go for more of a textured shimmer formula. That's my preference. So the shimmer formula isn't my preference, but the Color Story is great. And Scarab, this like brown to green duochrome, is really cool. I love that one a lot. And yeah, I just have a fun time. I use this one every time. I like the looks that come out consistently with it. And it's a little more colorful, I think, than some of the other stuff that's been lower. And number 6 from Simply Posh is the Cozy Cabin palette. This one is, don't quote me on this. I don't think this one's available anymore, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Here it is. And this one, the mattes are good, but the shimmers are where it shines. There are a lot of duochromes in here, and this is more of the like texture I was talking about. Hopefully you can see the texture a little bit in the pan here. Something that has a little more texture, to me, at least on my eyes and my preference, it makes it look a little more complex. It looks like you've layered 2 or 3 shimmers and gives it more dimension than some other shimmers that can just be kind of flat looking. Like the one I'm wearing today is a bit flat. There's no dimension. It's a finer shimmer. It's smoother. I like more textured. This is fine. I'll wear the smooth stuff too, but in rankings, this is gonna go higher. So the textured shimmer and duochrome's got it higher, and the color story. But I think everything else past this just has maybe some special shades or duochromes. Aren't all that it has. It might have like multi-chromes or holochromes, which are always gonna have my heart if you're new here. But that's number 6. Okay, the top 5 for August. And number 5 from Kosmetics. This is the Burnt Forest palette. I'm really sad that I can't order from this brand right now. There's a bunch of other palettes that they've come out with that I would like to get, but I live in the US and that's, I don't think, a possibility right now. So I pulled this one out just because I was missing my international indie brands, and this one is wonderful. It does have the duochrome shades, but it's also got like Starry Sky here. Look at that. Look how cool it is. It's blue, but it's got gold flecks in it. I love that mix. Dawn is such a unique shade. It kind of looks green, I think, to you, but it's got a pink flip. But the green is like a sage green, and Wildfire is this really cool bright orange, but it also flips to green. So we have some really cool multi-chromes paired with a good matte formula and a cool color story. So that, hard to beat, really fun packaging. This is where it gets difficult in the ranking, and it's like just comes down to preference. They're all good, but I don't know. I think maybe what kept that one from going higher is because it's Burnt Forest. Like you can go like green, orange, maybe a little blue, but it still, I feel like, has limitations color story wise. Number 4 from Blend Bunny is the Longing palette. Now this palette has one of my favorite shades in it that I've talked before. Maybe I should do a whole video on this. Let me know if you want to see this. Palettes that you would buy the whole palette for one shade. Whole video on palettes I bought for one shade. In this palette, the shade is When It Rains. It is so cool. I've worn it to work and people say, what color is that? Because you can't really tell. It's kind of a periwinkle. It's kind of like a gold. It's very hard to tell what color it is. Like it's a little gray looking. It kind of depends what you layer it over. It is such a cool shade. The shimmers are cool. Love Letters is also a cool shade that has like purples and blues in it. I even think it can kind of look a little pink in some lights. We've got the textured shimmers that I said I liked, If Only. All that's left is an amazing inner corner brow bone highlighter, cheek highlighter, and my favorite is muted colors. If I'm gonna wear color, muted is usually how I wear it. So the fact that we have muted green, blue, and purple in here, paired with some cooler tone neutrals, and even some like muted greens, like this is it for me, you know? Man, this one I think is just maybe a little too big for me. I feel like there's some of these mattes maybe we could have gotten rid of. And it's not even that anything's so redundant necessarily. Like there's a few that might look kind of similar, like Sorrow and Bottled Up, those diagonally. I don't know how much you can tell on the eye, you know, how different they are. I can see in the pan they're slightly different, but I might have curated this down just a little bit more to be perfect for me. And number 3 from Adept Cosmetics, it is the original Minka palette. I do not have the updated Minka palette, but I love this. I love when Adept did these more emollient, squishy shades. That is why I fell in love with the brand. They also have a couple holochromes in here, Linda and Selena, and a lot of their palettes, their newer ones, they're doing more of this smooth shimmer, which I do not like as much as the textured ones. There's like, you can see the difference between the smooth and the texture right next to each other. I like these a lot better than what they've put out in some of the newer ones. So I know it's just a matter of preference, but these are like wet, liquid, molten metals on your eyes. They're so cool. There's only 2 mattes. So it's probably my only complaint. You know, I compare it with anything, but why as a standalone it's not higher? You just got the 2 mattes to play with, right? But the shimmers are all exceptional in this one. So this one again is not available, but you can check out the new Minka if you're interested. And number 2, also from Adept Cosmetics, the House of L. Now I know I gave Hydrating Cosmetics a little flack because I was like, okay, well you can just go kind of like green or orange or whatever. And here we are, an even smaller palette that you can basically go peach, orange, or green in. But hear me out. These shimmers are on a totally other level from Hydrating, and Hydrating's good. But Zor-El here, I'm going to hit pan on that soon. This is one of the coolest, like, dark-based multi-chromes I have in my collection. It's, like, deep and smoky looking, but also has yellow and red in it. And you can do like lighter stuff, like I said, peachy pink stuff. You can go teal, green. These transform the look completely. These shimmers are so cool. It's not number 1 because I do think there could have been more mattes like this. If they redid the House of L and fleshed it out a little bit more as a bigger palette, they could be really onto something, especially maybe with like one deeper matte. But this one continues to be like one of my top Adept palettes that they have ever come out with. And I love, again, this squishy textured formula that they used to do more. Okay, my number 1 palette of August 2025 from Glamlite, the Sugar and Spice palette. It's not their newest one, but guys, first of all, luxury here in the packaging. Feels like leather. We've got the smaller pan sizes I like. We've got the textured shimmers that I talked about. We've got a nice ratio of mattes to shimmers, and you can go very neutral with the middle and nutmeg, which I've done a lot, but you can go yellow, purple, basil has a blue flip to it in the duochrome there, mint. This star anise or star anise, I never know how to pronounce it, holochrome is a little smoother, but it's got like green to very bright pink. Like that's a cool, unique, dark-based multi-chrome as well. And vanilla is also like a really good, smooth inner corner, brow bone, cheek highlighter. Like we've got a variety of shimmer formulas and textures, regular shimmers, duochromes, multi-chromes, mattes that are opaque enough to cover the veins in my eyelids. Like she's got it all, folks. So again, very sad because right now can't get from Glamlite since they are, again, an Australian international indie brand. Me as a US person, I just have to love on what I have until things get sorted out. But that is number 1. Let me know your thoughts. What did you use this month? What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? I know it's not the end of August exactly, but I'm not going to be using any other palettes this month. I'll just use like what I've already said in this video again for the last few days before I start anew. I cannot believe that it's almost September. I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks so much if you made it all the way to the end, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Bye!